What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of MTK here in North Hollywood, California. Today we have two special guests. We have Desiree Wodicker and we have Gaston Bolanos, right?
Bolanos, yeah.
Okay,
Bolanos.
Gaston Bolanos.
Yes.
Is that? All right, great. Okay. I know, that was my most difficult, even with Bruce. I was just like, all right, your name. I know. I was like, why can't we just do first names? You know what I mean? And obviously my co-host and life partner and business partner, Kimberly Amaya. And we also have Gizmo here, who's just the chill dog here. But thank you guys, we appreciate. I know you guys just literally came from one event to another and you guys drove from Temecula, is that correct?
Yeah, man, we're busy. We are busy.
I love it. So guys, I know that you guys are very popular out there in the Muay Thai community and the UFC and all that. Tell us a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you guys.
Yeah, well, I can start. Well, I only fight Muay Thai. I've been fighting and training Muay Thai for 9-10 years about at the same gym in Dublin, California in the Bay Area. And it's been really wild because I started fighting only when I was 26.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I literally saw her.
So I still have...
Yo, she wants to fight. I knew you were going to trigger that.
Wait, pause.
I'm like, we got work to do. She's like, I want to fight. I was like, no.
No, it's a huge part of my brand actually now because there's so many people that, they feel like they're too old to start something or, we have this hesitancy to like do new things and it's scary, right? Because you suck at it first. I mean, when I first started, I look back at some of those videos.
I mean, I remember very much like this in the beginning. She was just doing CrossFit, wearing, yoga pants type of thing, just soccer mom type of situation, and like now, 10 years later, just, I've been in how many of your fights in the corner? Even before we were together.
Awesome.
Before we were together, we were actually teammates.
Oh, really?
And we've been teammates for a long time. So I've been probably 80% of your fights.
Yeah, he's cornered me in
Yeah.
some of my biggest fights, and so we've known each other. That's where I met Gaston at CSA, and we've trained alongside each other for many years, and we actually used to like kind of hate each other.
Yeah.
It was just,
For a long time, actually. Yeah.
because we're both spicy. We're both
There was like a period of time, like I want to say like a year, we actually didn't probably talk at all.
block me on
Block-
Instagram.
yeah.
I was like,
And I blocked her back. I blocked her back. All right, I blocked her back. I think she blocked me first. Let's be honest.
You did a verse?
I think she blocked me
no.
first.
We've gotten into some serious fights on the mat, in an elevator. We've gotten into we've been spicy.
We've seen, we've seen us in previous relationships.
So let me ask you guys,
Yeah.
like prior to that, your guys is, being, in a relationship, did you guys like each other in that moment? Was that a way of showing it, or was there not, genuinely, you didn't even think of that?
I don't
No, I don't know.
I feel like we've always had like really good energy with each other, like in terms of like, I don't know. It's really hard to say because you're different. You're different at 20. You're different at 25. You're different at 30. Like my grandma used to say that to me all the time. Like, honey, don't worry because all of your world is going to change in a 5-year span. It is. And what's so beautiful about us is like we have seen each other through like lows and highs and like fucked up shit that we've done, like not the most honorable situations,
We've
right?
definitely seen not the best sides of each other, and to be here 10 years later, and like
Well, that's awesome.
we love each other. We love each other. We're life partners. We live together. And we're always in each other's corners. So it's kind of like seeing that evolution, like 10 years, like seeing this person walk into the gym with no martial art experience whatsoever. I remember she would do yoga stretches on the side on the mat.
Really?
Yes.
My
And
son
then she
would
would
do
try to like
jujitsu
look at the
and-
bag a little bit, and then like slowly though, seeing that evolution of this person walking into the gym with no experience whatsoever, into a professional 4-0 Muay Thai fighter now today.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's been really, really cool. And then like on the flip side of things, like with Gaston, like he was like this awesome Muay Thai fighter and then transitions to like a brand new sport with Bellator, with everything. And like the day that he got offered UFC, he's like, hey, what should I do? I was like, are you fucking kidding? You need to sign with the UFC. Like we talked about it, and like his first UFC picture with like this tape on it, like I took that photo. We just looked at it the other day. It's been so exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I moved. Yeah, my journey in Muay Thai starts when I was 10 years old back in Peru. That's where I originally started. That was where I was born and raised. And then at 13, I moved out. I moved to California with my dad. I left my mom behind. And yeah, we basically started fresh here with my grandma. You know, at 14, I found the East Palo Alto Boxing Club, which is where we started to, get back into martial arts. And then at 16, I found Vertex gyms in Mountain View. Okay. I had no idea it was like so close to me. And then since Johnson, I remember I saw Johnson and Vertex again for like, I was starstruck, first time seeing Johnson and Vertex, like in front of me. He's like, "Hey buddy, you want to fight?" Like that. That's literally how I started at 16 years old. "Hey buddy, you want to fight?" "Me?" I was like, "Yeah, you." And then that's how, here we are, man. 16 years later.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but just another reminder if you could like bring the mic.
Bring the mics.
Okay.
So yeah, 16 years later, man, started at Vertex, started first in Peru, then, at Vertex, then met my coach Kieran, and since then, we just been inseparable, Went pro at 20 with Lion Fight, did very well through the beginning of my career. Then at 25, made the transition with Bellator and MMA, and it wasn't more than anything. It was more than anything like I wanted a little bit more. It's not that I felt like I had like reached the pinnacle with Muay Thai, but I was just like I want some change, and I want to keep living off of this. I want to be a professional fighter. That was my decision at the time. I was like, okay, like this has been cool, but now it's time to make this a living, And then I talked to my coach Kieran, and I was very honest about it. He's like, well, you're gonna have to do MMA if that's what you want to do, So we made the transition, and then here we are, UFC. It's been the dream, and I'm so grateful for it, man. God works in mysterious ways, and we were talking about it earlier. All the hardship and all the things that I've been through since 13, since 10, all those things. Moving out of my parents, living on my own at 17, moving in with my coach, all working 3 jobs at a time to support something that I didn't quite see yet what was going to come to fruition, And now I'm like, okay, like I can look back and one, be thankful, grateful, and also excited for the future,
Yeah. When you grew up, were you into trouble and fighting and all that?
I definitely, I don't want to say, I was telling her a little of my story about it. We were talking a little bit briefly. It's not that I had a lot of anger inside. I didn't grow up with a normal family. My parents, were divorced. I was an only child, so think only child, divorced family, kind of like going in between homes. I was definitely, I had some anger in there. And once I found Muay Thai, I was that was my outlet, and she knows it's my outlet.
He transforms when he goes into the gym. Like he transforms into another human being. Like the work ethic and the amount of it's inspiring to watch, right? Like I would say I train really fucking hard. And when I see him, it inspires me to even keep pushing, because you watch it and you're like, you just have this certain thing about you, you know what I mean? And you're like, fuck, this guy's getting after it. It makes you want to get after it too. It's a different level, different energy,
Yeah, that's awesome. And what about you? What led you to Muay Thai?
Honestly, I was going through a really weird transition in life. I had my son at 21 years old, and similar to you, I had not a lot of direction. I got into a really bad motorcycle accident when I was 16 and almost passed. My uncle passed away, and it changed everything. I was supposed to go to a D1 school, cheer. I wanted to go to KU and cheer, or play soccer. I was very good from an athletic standpoint. And then this event happened and just turned my whole life around. I was depressed. I had no love, no guidance really that I really needed to heal from what happened to me. And so I started to rebel and drugs, and it was very dark, right? And then, I had my son, and he kind of saved my life. And I told Gaston this the other day, being a parent is the hardest job that you could ever have. I mean, I thought I was doing a fucking great job, and here's teenage years, and it's a different level. It requires so much patience, so much repetitive it's just a repetitive nature to it, you know, that it's hard, and you don't, and if we're all doing this for the first time, life. And I tell him he's like, I'm not a dad. And I'm like, well, I'm the mom for the first time. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing either. I'm like, someone help me. I don't know what to do, you know, because and then every kid is different and all this stuff. So I basically I was living in Missouri. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. My son's dad and I broke up. I was really in a kind of a dark place. And I was like, I'm not happy and I don't want to be here. So I literally left everything in St. Louis, Missouri, where I grew up, and I moved to California where my mom was, got my first big girl job in San Francisco at Wells Fargo. And yeah, my son and I moved, and that was in 2013. And at that point I was like, wow, like I could be a very conservative, right? Republic, clothes, like I grew up in Missouri. My dad was an ex-Marine. Like you could understand like my values growing up and like how I could perceive life. Then I moved to California and I was like, I know fucking nothing. I don't know anything about culture. I don't know anything about the food. I don't know about, I had Indian food and pho for the first time in 2016. I was like, I need to reevaluate my whole life. I need to be open to experiences. I need to do new things. I need to try new things. And that's exactly what I did. I was like doing all kind of weird shit, snowboarding one weekend, doing this one weekend, going with my best friend places. Like it was a really open, cool time for me to like grow as a human. Then my friend Josie was like, hey, there's this cool gym in Dublin that has CrossFit and boxing. And I was like, dude, I've always wanted to punch something, and they had a free Saturday class. And that's what I was saying. Like, that's where we met. And we started going to free Saturday classes. And then I tried the boxing, tried the Muay Thai. And then one of the coaches was like, hey, you're kind of good. And he probably just gassing me up, but I was like, all right, this is fucking kind of cool. I'm going to keep going. And then, like kept training, kept going. Even like people were talking shit about me. Girls were mean. Like I could have quit a few times, but I was like, fuck that. I was like, I'm having fun doing this. This is like, I enjoy it, and kept going. And
that's one thing that I will tell you, like that one thing that I was admire about her since before we were together was that I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go through this. I'm like, because that's how I think, and like to see that in another person, even though we were just friends at the time and everything, just it's very admirable to see that. Like she could have quit so many times, like with all these girls sparring, girls that were way better. No, never quit, never even said a thing. Yeah. Never even let them know nothing. Just I'm gonna walk through the fire. That's right there, like.
I got ego too. Like I don't want to. He knows. Like I cry. I for sure cry. Like when we're at home, I've cried. But like he knows. Like I'm not crying in front of nobody. Like you're not gonna. If you piss me off, like unless you like blatantly disrespect me, then I'm like probably I'm gonna say something. But like other than that, like I don't like people seeing that they've moved me, hurt my feelings. Like no, like you don't matter in my path that God has given me, right? So like I don't want to give people gratification. So it's the same thing. Like, dude, I will get my ass whooped. Like Zoila Frosto, freaking Sarah Delalio, freaking the girl Ashley. Dude, I would get my butt whooped. I would take.
Rosa just had a lot more experience in fights and bigger, and she was just like, "Well, I'm here to learn, so this is how it is." And
did you fight when you were young? Would you get into trouble?
No, actually, I was kind of like a little princess. Like my sister who lives in New Jersey, she was the one who fought. She would go black. And like all the fights that I've been in the street or out, whatever, have primarily been because of my sister. But I'm always like the one like, yeah, say you're sorry, blah, blah, blah. While my sister's like, rah, rah,
No
and
way.
I was like, oh my God, that poor girl, like I never, I wasn't like Desi Lou, my Instagram name was like, that was what my stepmom and my step grandpa used to call me, because they'd be like, Desi Lou, she's so sweet, this and that. And like, I've gotten a little jaded over the years and I had to protect my kindness with things. But like, I was never really, I was always like a little spicy, but I never like tried to like fight, like I never was. My dad used to teach me like, hey, if I ever hear that you've started a fight, I'm going to beat your ass. If I find out that someone started a fight and you got your ass whooped, I'm going to beat your ass too. But he was like, you don't ever throw the first punch on somebody. I don't ever want to hear you do that. And like, my dad was my hero, So I was not, I was a cheerleader. I did gymnastics growing up, and I was like fucking like, dude, they used to throw me up in the air and I do basket tosses and
I did cheer in high school.
Yeah.
So I guess there is hope for you because she's
know.
really
Yeah,
good
my
at
future
everything.
right
And then
now.
I'm like, look,
Yeah.
you're gonna get punched the first time. I don't want to do
Yeah.
it. She's like, I want to do it.
Yeah.
You're just answering her questions because she's 25. Like all this stuff going on.
No, that's
Like,
amazing. Actually, girls that do cheerleading, gymnastics, those things have been instrumental in my development with Muay Thai because it requires such a body awareness and balance and things like that those types of sports, soccer even, help you, I think, a lot in the sport of Muay Thai. So people always ask too, girls are like, how do you just get punched in the face all? I'm like, honey, no, this is a sport, right? Like we also learn how to defend, and that is what wins fights. That's what makes you a great fighter, right? Defense. Yeah. So we're not just sitting here getting clocked in the face every single day. That's not how this works.
How was your first punch in the face though? Like your real first, like shocking hard punch?
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. It is scary. And I probably was like looking like a retard, It's like, I probably handled that so different. But I've gotten rocked a few times, and yeah, in the moment, you're kind of like, oh my God, like I just got hit really hard. But when you have someone like coming after you still, like you have no choice. You can flee. It's fight or flight. Some people flight, but that's just not in my personality. Like sometimes you just got to take your ass whooping in a way. Like, yeah, I don't know how much more to explain it like that, but you could probably cowl and do that, but I'm not doing that. So.
Who do you get that from? Who do you get that drive?
My dad.
Your dad?
Oh yeah, my dad was a no fuck around kind of guy. Like he raised me, like I am who I am today because he has built me that way, for sure. Like the Marine discipline, the Marine structure, everything. And then my personality, because I'm very like submissive in a way, like with my father, like he would say, do this. And I would do it. Like we were talking about discipline with children, like our young people we have around us. And I told him, like, well, fuck. I mean, when my dad told me to do something, I did it. I was terrified of him, right?
Same. I mean,
like
the law. Like, I mean, like, more scared than anything else, like, hey, dad was like, do this. This was, like, anything else? Like, but it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, it is.
Like, the kids don't respect the rules the same way.
Do you think it's because we would get the shit beat out of us? I mean, at least I did.
Well,
I know for anything.
Yeah, I mean, some
Well,
parents...
I knew, we knew that would be a repercussion, right? Like, so I feel like that's a big difference.
My dad has smacked the shit out of me a couple times, but I mean, he was hard. I mean, same with Gaston. I mean, people talk about beating your children today. I don't agree with this narrative at all. There are some children that need harsher discipline than others. I will stand on that today. I don't care, like, comment whatever you want. I don't care. That's my opinion, that some children have no fear of authority, right? Unfortunately, sometimes you have to create that. I'm not saying beat your kid. I'm saying, yes, there are times when it's appropriate to spank your child, right? Because they need that form of fear of authority. When you have no fear of authority, you raise a child that will have no fear of authority in the street, or no fear of authority with, police, with laws, just general whatever, okay? And that's a problem. And
it's kind of like the problems that we're seeing now in society. Is people are just not, they don't respect the authority, and
yeah, it's a huge thing. So thankfully my kid, he's never been like that kid that I need to like really spank him. Like there was a few times I'll pop, 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 real quick in the South, you grab him by the arm real quick, you just grab him up and pop, 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 like, and then they're like, oh my God. And sometimes that's enough, sometimes you need to hold the pop a little longer. I don't know, but like I haven't had to do that. If we have children, we're hoping in the future that is in our cards, but like, hopefully our children will be little angels. I don't know.
All you gotta do is play your videos. I don't want one of those elbows. I don't want that spin back elbow.
Just have the highlight reel concept.
Yeah, you just have the elbows all the time. Like, I'm good, Dad.
Yeah, my kid tries to shadow box me all the time. He doesn't like it, but he will try to like leg kick me in the kitchen and like throw his little hands at me. And like the other day he was doing that, and then he turned around and I just leg kicked him in the back of the leg.
He said, "Ow, mom." What was that?
How old is he?
He's 13.
Oh, okay. So he's in that stage.
He's in that stage,
Yeah, he's in that stage. So if you all don't know, 13 is a different game. It's a different game. They don't give you a rule book for that. It's crazy. Yeah, everything you think, my kid will never do this, my kid is this. Oh no, honey, no. It's not the truth. Like.
So I wanted to ask you guys before we jump into your guys' more of your career and your business and everything. So where did that chemistry start to happen? Where was that moment where you were like, I kind of like this guy, or like, who pursued who first of all, and then let's go from there.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, sure.
I feel like you pursued him. I feel
like
you have that personality.
Yeah, you do have that personality.
Actually,
like, hey, you come here.
Actually,
you movies.
And that's so funny you say that because, and he can contest this, but like I am very traditional. I grew up in the Midwest. I'm a Midwest girl by heart. And I don't fancy actually hitting on men. I don't think that's organic, and I don't think that's my role to pursue a man.
Yeah.
I know like some women, they're very good at that. Like they can hit on men and they can do that, but that's not my style actually. And so I think at the point, I don't know, some years ago, we just kind of like got closer as friends and talking, and it became like, wow, I really am interested in your perspective today versus what it was 5-7 years ago. And wow, you bring, an interesting viewpoint to things.
I would say it was like we talked about. We knew each other for so long, but it was like, yeah, like you're talking about, like the new perspective, like, oh, I kind of like this version of this person, kind of, like not in a bad way, just like, oh, I like the evolution of the person. Like you start like seeing like from the beginning, like you're like, okay, this person, this is that, like this is my teammate, okay, and then we started hanging out a little bit more, and I was like, yeah, like I really like hanging out with this chick, And
so look at that little,
and then it was like, but then it was like, yeah, we started like doing cool things, and we started going on road trips, and like we started getting, it's like, hey, I have 2 dogs, and then she had a dog. It's like, hey, should we just all go? And like, and then slowly, we started hanging out with Asa, her son, and things became very serious.
Yeah. So you guys have been with each other since even before your careers in fighting?
No. We've been together now for about close to 2 years, maybe. I mean, we don't really have a date or anything. Like we don't do the anniversary thing, really. That's like kind of corny. But like it's hard because we've been friends for so long, so we don't really like put a timestamp on it, But we've like committed to each other, I think, over these last couple years. And I think also fighting is so interesting, because you get to see the different elements of people and different versions of them, and you get to see people at their lowest low, and when they can give up, and then that's where you see real heart in people, you know what I mean? And at the time, he and I were both going through a lot of changes in our lives, business, with family, with relationships, and we were really able to like lean on each other and give really good perspectives on solving problems. And then now today, our biggest thing we say to each other is like, I love doing hard shit with you. Sometimes we do hard shit better than we do the easier stuff together. But like we are a team, and like the things that I lack in, he really makes up, and vice versa. And so it just really has worked out like so beautiful. The synergy, everything. You would think like it's hard as fighters, being 2 fighters working together and being in a relationship, but it has worked out, and we've like even continued to learn more.
And that's where the understanding level comes from. Like she knows what I go through and what I have to put myself through a camp to be the best version of myself on fight night, and I know what that looks like for her again. And outside of that, we also know each other's lives now, as we've been in a relationship for almost 2 years, and that. Having that understanding of one another and being able to help each other through those hard times is invaluable. Like having that person that knows, like, okay, I got you. Like I know what you're going through. I got you.
Yeah. That's cool. And even more so, like we've had to dig So like in relationships, like sometimes you gotta put yourself in your spouse or your partner's shoes to really understand. Like either it's visualizing it or actually doing the things that they do to be like, damn, this is really hard. So like, for example, I have a hard time with empathy in general. Okay, I'm like, my dad's always like, go, keep going, push hard, blah blah, and I'm like, stop complaining, like just keep going. And so that's Edwin. It's really hard, you know, because everybody deals with things differently, right? Like even like with depression and all this stuff, I'm like, I've been there and I know personally what that feels like. But yeah, you have to push through those hard things. But for example, like we're both fighters. I feel like I handle my fight camps great. I just zone in, I do what I need to do, I eat, I la 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 la. With Gaston, it's like sometimes he gets a little softer when he's at home, you know, and like I have to help out more, and he's such this hard guy. And then so like in the past I've been like, why is he being like this? Like he needs to toughen up. Like how are you this killer? Wait, let me finish. But then no, but I was gonna say, to recap what I was saying, is I started grappling just like to have some skills, like, you know, 3 weeks ago or so. And I've been fucking crushed, y'all. Like my body cavity, I'm sore. And then I go home one day and I was like, honey, I'm so sorry. And then he was like, why?
I'm like, what?
And
what
he's like, what?
Like, did I do
and I was like,
something?
I
What's
just
going on?
really don't feel like I've given you enough, like during your fight camps. Like if you need me, like I'll baby you. Like what do you need? Like I'm gonna be more soft with you, like when you're going through a fight. Like I don't know how you go from grappling to, I mean, sometimes it's doing 3-4 sessions in a day, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Muay Thai is not, guys, Muay Thai, you can take a fight in 3-4 weeks with Muay Thai. And be at a top level. Like my coach Mal says, 3 weeks is fine, Des. Like 4 weeks is fine, Des. Like we'll fight. And I'm like, are you
Anything
sure?
more, it's almost too much. Like it makes you fixate too much on the fight. Like,
Yeah.
It's too long of a camp.
Yeah, but in MMA, 8 to 10 weeks is like what you need. So think about
really?
just crushing it. 8 to 12. Some people can't even do 75 hard for 75 days. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sorry, Andy, I failed mine.
oh, see, that's what I'm
55
saying.
days.
But
We got food poisoning.
Okay. But yeah, some people can't finish like 2 months of something solid, like just very easy. This guy's over here 3-4 sessions a day for 8 to 12 weeks, hard grinding, like just it's dark. You know what I mean? And yeah,
I'm going, and then it's dark, and it requires me to be even darker.
yeah,
So when she says like, I know that when I get home, I'm like, because there's no place for that guy, the guy that I have to transform into at home. Yeah. There's no place for that guy. That guy lives in the gym.
Yeah.
Describe
that guy for me.
That's the dream. I mean, that's my alter ego. My nickname is the Dream Killer, and that's kind of like who I feel like I have to tap into when I go in the gym, when I go into these hard sessions, when I'm going into my cold punch at 5 a.m. in the morning, when I'm going to the sauna and I got 5 minutes left, and I'm literally like, you know, like up here. That's who I tap into, so I can get that energy. You know, that somewhat of a dark energy, I would say. Not a dark innocent like bad dark energy, just it requires that. It requires that level of like, I don't give a fuck.
the energy is different. Like I'm telling you, he zones in, and then there's even points in time where like in the past I've been like, hey, like I really need you right now. Like I need you to like, and you know.
Yeah, we've had that. Like mid camp, she's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, honey, like and I have to explain, you know, and I'm like, hey, look, I hear you. I'm gonna try that at home, but we're 3 weeks out. This is the guy that I need to become.
Like I have to be really, I have to be really strong and confident in where we are in a relationship, because I have to know that might not get that affection that I normally get. I may not get those words of affirmation that I've gotten in the past. I may not get that physical touch, right? Like that we have every morning. Like there was one, not argument, but there's one moment I was like, I just miss like you bringing me coffee in the morning. Like I was really upset about it. Like it was just about him bringing me coffee in the morning, you know, because he's like up, cold plunge, straight to the gym, here. And I was like, babe, like, I'm just feeling really lonely. Like I need that, you know, like, and it was very simple, but it's just like, you have to be strong for the other person. And because it's a selfish sport too, you know, it's a selfish sport, and I can't be like, he doesn't love me because he's being selfish right now, but he has to, because
or thinking, oh, is this guy changing on me mid-relationship? You know, she has to know that, and she knows that. And then after the fight, there's a transitional period, like going back You know, after the fight, like first of all, like after if the fight went well, I mean, if it went bad or good or bad, the adrenaline, I can't sleep, and it's a 2-day period for me.
Shit.
No, like a week, honestly.
Yeah, to go back to like okay, like it's time to chill.
Like withdrawals,
you know?
like kind
well,
of
yeah. Sometimes he has like he will like mentally he'll be back, but like this last one, like he was a great win. He needed that win. There was a lot of adrenaline. His family came out. Everything was huge, right? He fought in the Apex again, and that was a lot. That was a lot for us on a relationship, a lot for him mentally, and so like he didn't sleep for like 2 days. Almost.
After,
I was at the point where I was like, honey, you need to sleep.
like literally, you didn't fall asleep. Like
you just couldn't sleep.
Oh
yeah.
The adrenaline post, and I'm telling you, it's not like my first time. My next fight is 61 fights.
Oh shit.
61 fights on the next one.
Yeah.
So it's not like amateur experience or anything like that. It's just like literally the transformation from cage time, fight time, that intensity into normal life. It's a process for me. I don't know what other fighters deal with it.
High level shit, you know, like you'll be floating for a week or so, you know, like last fight I had to actually tell, I was like, babe, I need you to come back to me now. Like it's been a couple days, I need you to come back. And I was also fighting, right? What?
No, that was the thing. I fought November 9th.
Oh yes, November.
And then she had a fight a month after.
How does that work, by the way?
So
do you guys have an agreement, or have you guys both fought training in the same time?
Well, we love that.
We like that because I feel like the energy in the house is like we're thriving. We're hunting.
Yeah, we're hunting.
That's how it feels. That energy.
It's actually better when we're in camp together.
I don't need you. I don't need you.
Yeah.
We're both in the dark spot.
It's not. It's that, but it's also like, hey, we're here together. Let's keep grinding, and we'll stay there. You know, and even like last time, I feel like even though she was like, hey, come back, and I was like, okay, but now it's your time.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I'm back. You know, like I'm back.
That one was hard because
now it's your time to go, and she had just as tough of a fight, if not tougher. You know? So.
And then it's hard because you don't know where you're gonna be at each fight, and so that's different per person, right? Per person. So like this last fight, I started camp. I kind of messed up a little bit because I got excited because he was fighting, so I started training harder than I was like just maintaining in a way, and that was too long of a camp in a way. So I should have waited a little longer. So by the time I was ready to fight, I was kind of like burnt out a little bit, and that was I was fighting a tough girl. She was at IFMA, the IFMA tournaments for Muay Thai, and everybody, raves about the girls that get golds and silvers in IFMA. I mean, I've never participated, but I'm a sniper, so I don't need those tournaments to like, feel ready, if that makes sense. But it was a tough fight, and I was kind of not there. And I pumped my strongest weapons that I have, my jab, and used my confidence, and like that won me the fight that night, right? But yeah, it was hard to kind of like, he was like, snap out of it, my coach Mal was like, snap into it, like get your shit together.
It's almost, it's hard too, because like it's almost like we both, even though I fought, we both went through this camp together. Even though she wasn't training, she was still going through the camp with me.
Yeah.
So it still feels like she went through a 14-week camp, kind of. Even though she wasn't training for the whole time, it feels that way because I've been in that mode. Even though I'm resting now and I'm just supporting now, she's like, okay, I hear you were resting, but now I'm still in this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened a little bit on that last one. I felt you were a little bit burnt out because it was just too long training period.
Because you go through, I mean, there's an evolution of a fight camp, right? You start off, you get your momentum up, and then you're going really hard in this area, this time frame, and you want to peak. Like every athlete wants to peak on fight day or whatever competition that they have that day. Peaking is real. From your mindset to what you're eating, cutting the weight, you have to like be in this perfect groove, okay? And so like it's challenging sometimes to like navigate, within each other's space, but like I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's cool.
And you've cornered her in her fights too, right?
I had to slap her mid-round.
No shit.
She could
He's like, this is the perfect moment. I'm always going to do this.
No. It wasn't a mean slap either. It was more like a wake up slap.
Okay.
For sure.
He slapped the shit out of me. You know, he slapped the shit.
Made you do it?
It was her debut, and it was a tough
Lion fight, yeah.
Lion fight, her first fight, and it was a great fight. You guys can go back and watch it. I think she did amazing. The first 2 rounds, she smoked this girl to the point that it would look like this, especially the first one. And then she kind of started hanging back a little bit, and then started getting it back. And then there was a moment between the third and the fourth,
Yeah,
or the fourth and fifth.
third and the fourth.
And she was like, looked at me, and she's like my partner, like, hey, like, I don't know if I can do this right now.
Yeah.
I forgot what you said.
Yeah, I was like,
my arms are not working. Or
yeah,
like,
I was getting tired. I was doubting like my athletic fatigue, and then at that point I probably had already kicked like 40 something times.
And this is our first five round, first legit Muay Thai fight. You know, so there's a lot on the line here. Debut, she brought a whole crowd from the Bay Area,
everywhere.
sold out the
Hard Rock.
At the time it was what is it called now?
Oh, I forgot the name.
Whatever
of it.
it's called now.
Anyway,
Where they have the lion fights, sold out the whole place. A lot of pressure on her too on her debut.
Yeah.
And then between the third and the fourth, she goes like, "Hey, like, I don't know." So right away, I didn't even like think about it. I'm because I've been here. That doubt, you can't let that doubt stay and sink in. So I was like, hey, no, look at your kid. And I made a little bit of room. I was like, hey, look at your kid right there. Are you about to give up in front of him?
Yeah, he
And she
actually
looked at
said
me,
that.
Looked at I was like, no. I was like, all right, get up, go get it.
It was kind of crazy how it happened, because and that's again like where we see the deepest, darkest points of people. Right. You know, you that's where your heart is, and so And
like me, I don't know what to tell you that we were starting today at that time.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that's what I needed to say at that time, but somehow I knew. I was like, hey, like this is what's gonna do it. This has to do it. And she came back, won the 5th round, dropped the girl, or rocked her.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I started feeling the way I did in the 3rd and the 4th, by the 3rd round, because I had hit this girl really freaking hard.
She was still standing, walking forward like
she
a
just
zombie.
fought on that RWS card with Dong. What's the girl's name from where Rod Tang's gym is? She's like the sister of. And she sliced her open, blonde chick.
You know?
Oh yeah. Anyway, so she was a tough girl, and I hit her really freaking hard, and I was like, and I even hit her with a few spinning back elbows, and she did not go down.
And mentally, that will mess with, especially
Bro,
with you. Yeah,
I was like, this
mentally,
bitch
that will mess with you. You know, you hit somebody with everything you got. You know, you're scraping them in the 3rd, and they're still not going down. They're just walking forward. Mentally, that will just like.
Yeah.
You know,
What would you say the percentage is between mental and physical, the actual physical skill?
80-20? 80 mental, 20?
90-10.
Like 90 is mental?
I mean, a lot of it is mental. Most of it is mental. You can bring think about it. Like, you can bring all the skill to the table. All of it.
Yeah.
And for MMA, you can have all the jiu-jitsu, all the wrestling, but if you don't have up here that fight's gonna be hard, and you have to expect the adversity, and you have to embrace it. How are you gonna show that skill?
Yeah.
You know, so I think the mental is so important. I don't even talk about percentages, but just period, the mental part. Without the mental, how are you gonna put yourself in the position to even enter that ring? It's hard.
And it's funny because it's the same thing as business, you know, like people,
No,
everybody
absolutely.
says, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to start this. Like you talk to anybody, right? Mm-hmm. But like I tell people, like, you don't understand till you get tested, till you get through that, you know, you go through that adversity. That's where you really get tested. That's where you really know.
And it's not just that too. Like, think about the adversity, but it's also like your hunting skills. It's like, so for example, like you could be in a position to knock someone out. Are you going to do it? Right? Are you going to take that's right in front of you? Are you going to take that? Because this last fight, I could have knocked that girl out if I wanted to. Right? And I'm not trying to put myself and make myself look bad, but I didn't. I took the safer route. I wanted to win the fight. I had a lot on the line. You know, I said, fuck it. Let me do what I need to do. but I could have knocked her out if I really wanted to. But it doesn't just happen on the other side about facing adversity. It's also like capitalizing on the opportunities that are in front of you, which is also a mindset thing. So if like you feel like you're not worthy or you're not capable or whatever, it's not for you, right? That could also affect how you do business, you know, how you make decisions. I'm not saying like I didn't want to knock her out, but like, yeah, I just kind of like, you know, I did what I did in that fight, and that's okay. Sometimes we do that. Like I talked to my coach about it, and he's like, stop being hard on yourself. You won the fight, you know, this and that. But we have these expectations, you know, like our expectations of ourselves need to change too.
Yeah.
What do you mean by you could have knocked her out, but you took the different route?
So like, I could have given more in that fight. I don't mean to like be like, hey, I could have knocked that girl out. What I'm saying is I could have given more in that fight. I could have been more aggressive. I could have thrown more in a volume sense. But there were a lot of things that I was dealing with internally. And at that point, I really didn't want to fight, I guess, maybe. I just was like dealing with a lot. You know, family stuff, business stuff. And I showed up because I know I'm like, I've worked really hard and I'm going to win this fight because I've worked really hard. Okay. Whereas my last fight, I was like, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to wreck that girl, right? Two different mindsets. Yeah. Two different. Doesn't mean I didn't want it.
Yeah.
It was just like, there were so many things going on that I was like, man, that hunter wasn't in me like it normally was. And we can't expect that every fight either. You know, that's a part of accepting that where our feet are, right? I always had the saying like, you gotta be where your feet are. And sometimes you have to appreciate where your feet are. That last fight that I had to appreciate that I know I grinded for fucking 8 to 10 weeks and I knew that I could win that fight. But I also knew in my head deep down I had a little more that I could have given. So does that fester with me a little bit? Yeah, it does. But like in other areas, I will give that hunter mentality. You know, like it's okay sometimes to like fall a little short. And I think that's really the moral of that part of the conversation is sometimes it's okay to fall a little short of things that you're doing. If that's all you have, you know, you gave 100% of what you had in that moment, then it's okay, you know? But you also need to know that you're capable of much more. Like I know that I was capable of much more.
Did you know that in the moment, or I mean, while you were fighting through your breaks, or after watching the film?
It was probably there were moments during the fight, but I also was having a lot of fun, just like dominate. Like this is my fucking like I pissed on that ring. I was like, fuck you. I'm gonna do what I got. With like, you know what I mean? Like this is, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. This is my ring. I don't care how I'm feeling, whatever. I'm gonna just beat you with my jab.
And at the end of the day, it's not that it was easy, but
no,
it was also like the confidence and both in business and in fighting. It comes from the work that you put in, right? From all those relentless hours of working. That's at least for me in fighting. I know like I have no fear because I left no stone unturned.
Yeah.
And even though that wasn't the best camp that she had, she still did everything she could leading up to it. So the confidence was still there.
Yeah. The confidence was still there for sure. You know? In my head.
So like, just because she's like, hey, I could have done this, it's not like she wasn't confident. She was very confident because she put in the work from day one till fight day.
100%.
So
how do you, when you're dominating a fight and you know like it's in your favor like every round, how do you stay in to where like you don't get too confident where you like they get a good shot on you, you might get knocked out? Like how does that work?
We actually this is something that comes from, I would say, from our school of knowledge from CSA Gym, CSA striking system, but this is something that we practice every single day. We're always offensively minded, defensively sound, and that's something that it literally repeats in my head every single day.
Dude, defense wins fights.
Yeah, and defense wins championships. You know, this is like.
Yeah, in my head, I was like, I don't care what she throws at me. I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna have my range, and then when I'm ready to throw whatever I have, I'm gonna throw it. You know what I mean? So it was just like, it was just kind of. It was an interesting fight. Yeah. Because I even said, like I told you, like that 12 o'clock that day, my coach Mao was like, wake up. You know, he like punched me like, wake up. And I was like,
Mao. Hong Kong, I had to drive.
Yeah,
all
it
the way
was
back,
like,
oh shit,
like commute 2 hours to go get
Yeah.
the
2 hours.
yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, and again, we were dealing with a lot. I was dealing with a lot of business stuff. Our fathers are dealing with health issues. Like, we got a teenage son. We're managing 2 businesses. It's a lot on our plates.
Yeah.
Than just the average person. So sometimes, life can just be really heavy on you, but you have to like push through and get the job done. And like, that was my thing. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to show up. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be, with everything that I do have, and I'm going to get the job done because I know I've done the work, might have not been my best performance or knockout or whatever, but I still did what I did and showed up, and I was confident about it, But
and
again,
that's kind of something that we talked about previously, because we talked about it. We're like, she was like, hey, I'm not feeling this today. I'm like, well, we can go back. I was like, we're here. The fight's happening.
Yeah.
Or for a second,
You
I was
said
like,
that.
No, for a second, I was like, don't fight. I like turned it. I was like, hey, you don't want to do it? Don't do it. Don't. Let's go home.
I actually cried on the way
Yeah.
to the venue.
She was like, it's like, I don't want, like, not in like, I'm scared. She's like, I'm just not we had so much going on all week. And I just looked, I was like, hey, don't. And then she was like, no, like, it almost like created
like a reverse
and that's what I wanted, honestly. I was like, you know what? I'm like, because I was like, it's fine. I was like, you know what? Don't fight.
Go back to yoga. Go back to yoga.
I was like, don't
Go
fight.
stretch.
Should I turn around? I'll turn around.
Yeah, he did.
I did. I was
We
like,
were
hey, should I
literally
turn
on
around?
680,
Yeah.
and he was
I
like,
was like, honey, I'll turn around right now.
because I was like looking out the window, and I was like kind of crying a little bit, and I was like, I don't know, babe, like I'm just not feeling it today. I don't know, and then he was just like, you want me to turn around? You don't have to fight. I'll turn around right now. And I was like,
we can give all those people their money back for their tickets. I don't care.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah, it's just sometimes, bro, life be throwing stuff at you, But then you got someone on the other end ready to punch you in the face,
Yeah.
And it's like, are you gonna fold, or are you? And that's the thing. Like, that's why we give 100% every single freaking day and everything that we do, because it's like, no matter what, you don't have that guilty conscience of, did I do this? Did I do that? No, like I did. So if I fail, it's because like that's just the circumstance, because we all fail.
Yeah.
Right. But like, to just give half-ass on things leading up to stuff that's important, like that's a no-go in our house.
One thing that I've learned through the 20 years that I've been doing this is like, the things that you can't control, you should absolutely always control them. The training, how you show up, your intent, your energy, and that might look different, like we talk about 100% every day, but that 100% is different. Like sometimes my 100% is like really like a 20%, or my 100% that day might just be, I don't know, watching some fights and meditating, and 100% looks different. You have to have the structure too, and it's also good to have people above you, both our coaches, we put them way above us, and they tell us, they're honest with us. It's good to have good, honest, important people that will tell you what you need to hear in the moments that you need to hear them.
Yeah.
I agree. You guys have amazing chemistry, by the way. Like, you guys are like amazing and very inspiring, because that was one of my, like, I was just like, how do they make it work? You know what I mean? You guys are both professional fighters. You guys are both have businesses. You guys both have a lot going on, and it's a lot of pressure. I mean, we run businesses, but you guys run businesses and are professional fighters, which is a lot more on top of that. So that's a lot of pressure. And we see even being in this community of ours, we see what fighters go through in their camps and everything, and it's like, and on top of that, you guys are in a relationship together. So it's a lot going on. But like, just speaking to you guys, it makes sense. I'm like, okay, I got it. I was like, go fight, babe. We got this shit, baby. Go fight.
It's hard.
I actually said, I was like, go beat her ass, babe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he will say that. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's tough, man. We do. Luckily, I feel like I said, my holes are his strengths and vice versa, and like we just have a really good time management too. I think both of us are very punctual individuals, and we also like to plan, and we like to know what's going on. The plan might not always execute the way we want, just like this.
But we're always ready to. But that's one thing. Like life, this life comes at you with 100 different things. That's just normal. That's just how life is.
Yeah.
And it's probably why we love martial arts so much. But one thing that has made this work really well, at least recently, I mean the last few months, is like we just pivot and quick. You know, it's like, okay, we gotta adjust. Okay, let's not dread. We just
Yeah.
gotta pivot, and then we pivot, and then we just keep going. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And honestly, when you do it like that too, you don't focus on a lot of the negative, because I feel like a lot of people can be like, oh, this happened, and la 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 la, you know, and then they put more energy into that when it's like it's there, it's not there anymore. You know, I had a sponsor paying me good amount of money, all of a sudden not paying. You know what? I was like, fuck it. I told him, I was like, I'm upset, you know, and it was only for like an hour, so I was like, man, like that's crazy, like how could they do that? And then he's like, babe, don't worry, like other stuff's coming. We've planted so many seeds, like we have blessings that are coming every day. Next thing you know, I have another sponsor hitting me up that next day and was like, hey Des, like let's get our conversation back going, and like that happened. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Like we constantly are planting seeds. We constantly are doing things to help build our foundation. And I feel like we have been built a good foundation. Like that's another thing, like our trust and our honesty with one another. And you know, that has grown over the years for us. And that's helped like huge.
That's awesome. And do you guys have, aside from the mentors and coaches, do you guys have any mentors and coaches from business-wise or anything like that you guys step into?
Yeah, we have a lot of very successful people around us, you know, that we're grateful for, and that are like, it's so crazy that we have a network, an ecosystem of people that do so many cool things.
Yeah.
We just went to Operation Black Site, which is a 2.5-day event in Temecula that we do. We teach people hand-to-hand combat. We teach them weapon handling, search and rescue. It's an amazing event led by Bedros Keuilian and Dan Fleischman, okay? The instructors are amazing. The people are amazing. They come from all different backgrounds in which we meet people, and we're genuinely curious, like too, about other people and what they do, and their stories. And we've built relationships. And like there's like this thing. We launched our coaching program in January. It's called the Champions Blueprint. It is a fitness program which we bring people through essentially a fight camp and what it feels like to do hard shit. We have mental coaches, mindset coaches inside our program. We have RDNs to do nutrition plans for our clients. It's a really robust, cool thing that we've built over this last year, and we just launched. And one of the things on an overall health basis is like blood work and stuff, right? We go down to Operation Black Site and we realize like we know people that do these things that can help our clients be better and be healthier, and how can we incorporate them into our ecosystem of stuff that we're doing. And so it's like I feel like we just have a diverse range of people that do things from in the medical field to entrepreneurship to people, you know, I've been in wealth management for 13 years. The amount of people that I know that have poured knowledge into me in that capacity has helped me be an entrepreneur better. So, and he's been an entrepreneur for his almost entire life. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's been now, yeah, we lean, if we have questions about stuff, I feel like we always have someone we can call to ask, right? Ask for help, ask for guidance.
Yeah, God has definitely blessed us with the resources and all these amazing, this community, you know, like I feel so blessed, you know, to have that, you know, and I think Desiree feels the same way.
Well, I mean, look at us here sitting here today.
That's what I was thinking right now.
I mean, guys, like your relationships are everything. Your relationships are literally everything. And even as we sit here at this table, Bruce from Legendary Foods, which is an amazing human being, I met at Operation Black Site. And he just so happens to sponsor your gym with like really good quality products, and then was able to connect us. And then for Gaston and I, you know, we've been in the seminar space for a long time, and you know, now we're kind of pouring into the corporate space and incorporating self-defense martial arts within the corporate setting as well. But it's been huge to build those relationships, like, and here we are today.
Yeah, it is crazy because me and Kim were at a business event, and his the Legendary Snacks were there, and we were like, we looked at him, and then I was like, who's Bruce? And I followed him. And then, you know, we've been following each other, and I met him at a Tai Lopez event. Okay. And then, like, I'm just on Instagram, and I'm like, that's Muay Thai Princess? Yeah. And then I hit him up, and I'm like, and it's just, I always tell everybody, proximity is power. Like, your network is your net worth. Yeah. Like, shake hands. Like, go in there and just introduce yourself, because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know how one handshake could go deep.
Yeah.
You know?
And some people, I think, and again, like wealth management is a dog world, okay? The networking is a thing there, but I feel like a lot of people do it in a wrong way. Like, so for example, what I mean by that is when people go network, they're usually thinking about how can someone help me, you know? Whereas in my experience, I feel like I'm a master connector, right? Like I feel like I've been able to connect the dots for people and help them in their journeys and what they're trying to do through my network. And I've done that for many, many years. Same with Gaston, you know? And that's where it's like, if you have a mindset of servitude and how can I help this person along their journey to be successful, that's when it comes back to you tenfolds. Yeah. You know, it really does.
And that's kind of like where the coaching program comes, because that's really, this coaching program was built, it doesn't have fighting and martial arts in it, but the structure and everything else, the mindset, the fitness, and the nutrition is what we follow on every camp that we do. So we've wanted to recreate that in a way, blueprint, yeah, so that anybody across the world can experience the fight camp that we're doing.
Yeah. There's so many crossovers with fighting and real life and business. Like, for example, he's got an executive that's his private client, and she's a dog. And she made a comment like, hey, I'm a dog in the boardroom, but I'm not a dog outside of the boardroom. And that's in like martial arts has helped her create
get that dog outside of the boardroom.
So yeah, and just like you said, you can match martial arts with anything in business, you know. The grind, everything that it takes, the discipline, the resiliency, you know, being relentless. And yeah, we both have our shirts. But being
so cute.
Yeah,
being relentless. She has one of her dogs. That's what she has. A gizmo. She has a gizmo on her.
That's awesome. But yeah, like and I feel like now too, especially being in the corporate space, I was with, you know, Morgan Stanley's of the world, Wells Fargo's of the world for a long time, and I see a lot of these guys that are in here, and you know, a lot of them are just, you know, they're robots. They are robots. But you know, maybe their family life is lacking, or maybe they're suffering in certain areas where combat sports can help them. You know, and yeah, that's what we aim to bring to people. We got people of all walks of life. We got corporate executives. We have people that are just moms or parents. Like, hey, I've fallen out of my groove. I've lost.
A lot of successful people. You'd be surprised how many successful people from the ages of 28 to really 50. Mm-hmm. They're like, look, man, like, I've been following you, or I've been following you for a long time. I'm a fan. I like what you do. I like what you post. You inspire me. This is my life. And they have a good, successful life. They work their asses off. It's like, look, I have all these things, but I've let go this part of me, which is the most important sometimes.
Yeah,
it is not sometimes. This part of me, I lost sight of it completely. I need you to help me with that.
Yeah.
And when people are honest with you about that, you're like, how can you not, you know?
Yeah.
It's just really like so compelling. Like what we're doing right now, I wake up every day inspired to help people, you know, because, you know, we're really helping them transform their lives and try to help them become the best version of themselves. You know?
Yeah, we get lost in our sauce, like, you know, chasing being successful, climbing the corporate ladder, chasing some of these things that we forget to take care of ourselves. And you know, one thing, like just this weekend with Operation Blackside, we these people are trying to get better, be better, protect their families. We're starting to realize as a community, as an ecosystem of people, that there's more to life than some of these things, and we really need to spend more time investing in those things, right? Because it's like when we get older, who's going to be around you? Who's going to come to your funeral, right? That's what, you know, Steve Eckert said yesterday. Who's coming to your funeral, right? Are you fit enough to chase your kid around the playground? Do you have enough energy to spend the time that you need with your family? You know, and forging those important relationships. So yeah, I feel like a lot of us lose sight of that because we're on that constant grind, and it's normal, you know?
Especially here in this country. I mean, like moving here, that was one of the biggest like culture shocks. It's like you just get on the hamster wheel, and once you get on it, you're not getting off of it really and then seeing her, what she does, and the financial side, like really these people don't get off until they're 65.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And at 65, they're not healthy. They're not, what kind of lifestyle is that? I always ask people, I say, when I'm doing financial planning, I said, great, we're talking about retirement here. I said, what are you going to do when you retire? I was talking to this executive at Rivian. That was like probably the most notable. Remember, I came home. This guy was traveled all over the world. He's done things he very successful, everything. And then I asked him, I said, hey man, like you're worried about all this stuff and retiring. Are you going to be able to retire? I said, what the fuck are you going to do when you retire? Can you tell me? And when
he had no answer, right?
No answer.
I remember. Yeah.
He sat there in awe, like that I would ask him that question. And he literally was like, I need to go home and I need to like actually think about this. Well, because he's been taking care of, providing for his family. He's been providing for his child that had a disabled child, and then had a divorce and had all these things going on that he kind of forgot about himself. And then now he's like, God, yeah, I don't know. I need to like pick up something to do. Like I need to pick up.
I need a hobby or
yeah,
something.
like we don't think about it. And like, that's crazy that we don't spend enough time like really being selfish with ourselves, that we look up and it's like, damn, what am I going to do now?
Absolutely.
It's crazy. So yeah, man, like if you can't run, 30 minutes or 20 minutes, or you can't sprint for 30 seconds if someone's chasing you, right? Our world's getting crazy right now. If you don't have skills in hand-to-hand combat, if you can't protect your family, yeah, you gotta work on that stuff. So.
I love it. And what is your guys' ultimate goal for like launching your guys' mentorship program and your podcast and all that? Where do you guys see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to grow in the next 3 to 5 years in terms of like our reach with our people, right? I mean, our demographic right now, I'd say, yes, we have fight exposure. We're known for being fighters, but we do want to help the regular person.
Transform their lives. That would be ideal. That's what we're trying to do.
And those efforts not only come through, yes, our fitness coaching program, but it also happens on a corporate level. All the verticals that we have going on about pouring into other people and like hopefully sharing our journeys through the podcast, through anything, creating that inspiration in 3 to 5 years. We just hope all these things are really well-oiled running machines, and they continue to give us fulfillment. And because I think that's like one thing, finding your purpose. I think we finally at that junction where we found our purpose of like, wow, we really have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of things to give back to people. Yeah. And if we can continue to do that for the rest of our lives, 3 to 5 years doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like if we can do this for the rest of our lives, I would be so satisfied, Eventually we have some initiatives, some charitable initiatives. He's got the Dream Killer Foundation. It's Dream Maker Foundation, excuse me. That we both come from immigrant parents. My mom's from the Philippines. His family's from Peru. To make some kind of alignment with that, with the youth, and pouring the word into people eventually. Like obviously it's hard because that stuff takes a lot of money, right? So we have to build where we are now, but eventually like doing something along those lines would probably be where we'd like to go. So we got to keep working until we get to that point, but I feel like that's where we see ourselves. Gaston has a couple gyms in Peru. He's partnered with his really good longtime friends called Fight Lab. Fight Lab's amazing. Shout out to them, by the way. But we'd love to like bring a Fight Lab to somewhere in California. And
that's definitely part of the goal as well.
Like he's been there, like a fighter with aspiring dreams that was given an opportunity to come to the U.S. and build this life. Like, would that be so cool to like do that for someone else?
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
And what about your guys' fighting career? Where do you guys see yourself right now as far as where you guys are? What should your guys' audience expect?
Fighting's it's a moment in life, and I'm enjoying it. We're enjoying it.
Yeah.
We're enjoying it together for sure. And however long it is for her or for me, we don't know. I want to keep fighting for as long as I can, and I'm okay with it. But yeah, eventually we want to have kids, and so fighting is not forever. It's just a moment.
Yeah.
Eventually we want to start a family or grow the family more.
Yeah.
But for right now, yeah, I'm in the UFC. I should be fighting soon. I don't have anything finalized yet. But before June, May, I should be fighting in the UFC. I'm a UFC bantamweight, like I said. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm looking to stay super busy and active this year. Hopefully 3 or 4 fights. and yeah, climb up the rankings and get into the top 15 next year, and that will also supplement everything else that we're doing. You know, I want to show people out there that doesn't matter where you come from, what it is your means are in the beginning. It doesn't matter if you have a dream and you keep and you stay with it, you stay focused. Like there's nothing that can stop you from getting that. You know.
Yeah. Was that a dream of yours, like UFC? Did you have that, or did it just fall on your lap?
My dream was, you know, at the time the pinnacle was K1 in my opinion. You know, when you had, you know, I'm talking 07, like Walkout and all Petrosian. Like to me that was it. So that was my UFC at the time. That was the pinnacle. But then as combat sports evolved, MMA got bigger. The pinnacle of combat sports became the UFC. So eventually I was like, yeah, that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, one day, you know, I was finishing. It was crazy too the way that it came about. Like I was finishing my contract with Bellator, and I really didn't know where I was going to land. I was talking about this with her, and I was like, one day, like I got a call, and I was like, hey, what do you think about the UFC? And I was like, I literally had all those moments replayed of me, like thinking when I was watching the UFC with my best friend in the garage, and like thinking about all those moments. I was like, yes, like the moment that came in, it was like, yes, like there was no other option that I wanted. This is what I want. This is what I want to do in my life. And like,
he took a pay cut and everything. Like it was a big decision.
It wasn't about the money.
It wasn't
about. It was just about like, yeah, this is the dream. This is where I want to finish my career.
Yeah. Like sick. Yeah. It's inspiring to watch because like you know, it's a dog world in that space, but I've seen Gaston so many years with other people training everything, and he's special, like for sure, on another level. Like, I mean, 20 years of practicing martial arts you can't buy time.
Yeah.
You know, you can't buy time. So it's really cool. Yeah.
That's amazing, guys.
Yeah.
Honestly,
for me, I'll just be fighting Muay Thai. I think I'm gonna
just be fighting. Look, guys, let's be honest. If I could make a living fighting just Muay Thai, well, now I actually love MMA. Yeah. I can't say that, but back then it was like, look, if I could make a living just doing this, I probably would have done it back then.
Yeah.
But Muay Thai is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It's an amazing sport. There's a reason that the masses follow it the way they do. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's art. There's a difference when you watch MMA and when you watch Muay Thai. And I'll say this publicly. I have no problem about it. Muay Thai is art. Muay Thai is beautiful to watch.
It definitely is. And the transformation that we see in individuals that walk in here or come back, or the stories we've heard from individuals of just transforming their life and the discipline and how it falls into everything else in their day-to-day life. I mean, looking even at just at Kim, like, her skills are amazing and great, she's like, this is your gym, you don't even train as much as I do, and I'm like, well, yeah, you know, and she's like, yeah, right, so I'm gonna go ahead and be the flag carrier and all this, and you know, she's the perfect example to everybody else, because everybody that's part of the team, it's one of the requirements that you train and you hear, because we want you to be a product of the environment. So when people walk in here and they ask you a question, one of the first questions that they ask you is like, do you train? What do you like about it? And we could give you all the scripts you want, but there's nothing like saying, you know what, I didn't know it before, I didn't have this confidence, but I've been doing it for 3 months. I love it, it's transformed me this, I feel better as a woman when I'm walking by myself, or whatever it might be, or I used to be this or overweight and it's just made me amazing. And people buy into that more than anything else, your story, you know what I mean? And they know, because you could be like, you could say any script, but no, I always tell everybody on the team, people buy you before they buy any product or service.
100%.
They'll buy you. But listen, guys, I would love to keep you guys here for 2 more days and go on with you guys' stories of
this stories.
We got stories.
This will definitely. I know Kim had a whole thing.
I was like,
I was waiting on you, Kim.
she does it again.
But you know, I thank you guys for coming by. I mean, your guys' story, your guys' relationship, your guys' mission, your guys' like day-to-day just struggles and everything.
Your faith in God.
Yeah, like
and
it
not
just
shying away from it.
It inspires me, and I know it inspires Kim, because we go through those ups and downs and we just know we're not alone. And when you hear other couples, even if it's in a different format, like, you know, it's kind of similar to where like, hey, you know what, we can't fucking give up on each other, and we gotta back each other up, because we do that already. And sometimes you know we have our moments, we're human like anybody else, but ultimately at the end of the day, we're just like, fuck it, we're going that way, and nothing else is gonna stop us.
It's a choice, man.
Love
the choice. It is.
So before we let you guys go, real quick, to your guys' audience, to our audience, and to those people who don't even know you yet, what is one message you have for those people who are starting off in the martial arts, who are starting off in Muay Thai, and for those people who just are starting off in business ultimately? Like, what message would you say to those?
You want me to go first? Okay. I would say if you have not ever learned any form of martial arts, it will change your life. There are so many stories, testimonials, things of how martial arts can change your life. We don't even understand. I mean, we understand, but we don't. I mean, it's a combination of the discipline, doing hard things. We have certain areas of our brain that change and grow when you do hard things, and that's exactly what martial arts can do for you, can do for your family. So I understand it can be intimidating, like it can be scary trying something new. It's also a very aggressive sport, but if you have the right people around you, if you have the right coaches, the right gym, then your experience could be so beautiful. So my advice is to have an open mind, to try new things, to try hard things, right? And allow it to cultivate your entire surroundings. So that's that. For people in business, look, it's scary being an entrepreneur. You are a 1, 3, 4 hat show pony, and you have to learn and you have to adapt to whatever it is that you're wanting to be successful at, whatever your business is. But if you have a mindset of servitude and you have a great skill set that you can share with other people, then you will be successful. You know, if you're just trying to get over on people and you're trying to make a quick buck, it's never going to be successful unless you are willing to make the world a better place, make people and serve people in a better place, in a better way. So
for me, I mean, it kind of, for her, she started she found martial arts and Muay Thai later in life at 25. For me, it's more an advice for the parents or for the young kids out there. I think all kids should be doing martial arts, some form. I'm not talking just Muay Thai or just Jiu-Jitsu, but some form. There's nothing out there, like at least for me, when I found martial arts, there's nothing else that can show you the level of discipline, respect, while, like she said, while you're doing hard things. And this generation needs that. You know, we all need that. We all need that, period. But for all the parents out there that are watching, for all the kids, please tell your parents, please, I want to start Muay Thai. I want to practice Jiu-Jitsu. I want to start. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the first step. But it's so important, you know. It's so important to get there. And just that, like, for all the parents out there, like, your kids are not going to turn violent. They're not going to be aggressive. If anything, for me, I was aggressive before martial arts. It calmed me down.
Oh, yeah.
It calmed me down.
Yeah.
It calmed me down. It gave me an outlet. And I found something that I haven't stopped since, you know? And whether you want to be a fighter or not, that doesn't matter. Yeah. But all kids out there should be trying martial arts because it's going to just make them better people.
Yeah.
I love it, guys. Listen, well, I know we have a part 2, and I would love to have you guys back. There's a tremendous amount of more, you know, that you guys, I know, in your story and your new ventures with your coaching and everything you guys got going on. So hopefully we could have you guys back. But real quick, for those who haven't followed you or don't know where you guys is, what are your guys' Instagram or any handles they could follow you in?
You can follow me at dreamkiller_Bolanos on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Desilu_Limon. You can also follow me at Unconventional with Des. And if you guys are interested in our coaching program, The Champions Blueprint, you can find us at thechampionsblueprint.io. Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. Shit, I'm almost choking. Here you go. Let's go, Kim. Kim's time.
Yeah, Kim, help us out.
Let's go.
Here we go. Let's go.
Guys, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Muay Thai Kickboxing Gym. We are going to get ready for the Desiree Wodicker seminar and also the Gaston Bolanos seminar. So stay tuned for that video and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
And you got their names down. Good.
Yeah, she did it.
Go.
Wait, I gotta pee so bad. Hold on.